Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Spitballing. I'm here with my good buddy,
Kyle Amundson.
and today we have these two lovely ladies in the house. My Mandich.
Hello.
And my Christine.
Hi. And it's Christine's birthday.
Yay! Happy birthday!
It is that.
Thank you.
How old are you now?
And it's been
You're not supposed to ask a lady
I
how old
was
she is.
just kidding. It was a
it
joke.
was
I'd have to think
September
about it.
of 2019 when we had them on the show last.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Really? I didn't-
Episode 12.
It was really
Yeah,
that
we
long
looked,
ago?
yeah.
Huh.
That's crazy. I was like
Yep.
2019. That couldn't possibly be right, but
Yeah, we've been doing this for coming up on 3 years now.
Word.
Yeah, this is number 60.
You're the big 6-0.
Or is it 2 years?
God, fuck, I don't know.
I think it's only 2.
Whatever.
You know.
It'll be, 2.
I don't remember life before COVID. I don't remember life before COVID. I don't remember life before spitballing either. I don't remember life before COVID either. Seems like it's been forever. So what's going on, guys?
Painting.
Yeah?
That's all I do anymore.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, you're still doing you still have the, what is it called? Sacred Sisters?
Sacred
Sexy Sisters?
Yeah.
A
I
bunch
like
of
that
sisters?
One. Yeah, salvage. Salvage sisters, yeah.
I was close.
Yeah, I actually expanded since we last met. I was in just a small 10 by 20 booth. Now I'm in a double that. I don't know what the measurements are.
Double wide.
I don't know.
You were when you were on last time, I think you were only in St. Cloud.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. So, yeah, they opened up in Baxter. We're located behind Maury's there on 371. So, yeah, now I'm in 2 spaces, and it's going great. Furniture is just coming in and out, and Kyle loves it, constantly hauling
Yeah.
heavy things.
He loves
Yeah.
Look at that
Yes.
face.
Love it.
On our second floor apartment. Yeah, a house will be nice someday with a garage and a yard to work in, because if I want to paint or sand something, we've got to take it in upstairs, and then I got to do my work on it, take it downstairs, sand it, bring it back in.
Well, I know you guys have been like looking for houses, and this
Yeah.
is like the worst market in
Yeah.
the
It's-
at least in modern history for people. For it's the worst
Buyer's
buyer's
market.
market
Yeah.
for a really long time. And I was just thinking about it, but there's a ton of commercial property available. Like it's laying around all over the place. You guys should really think about just getting a shop.
I was just thinking about that the other day.
Like you have a cool apartment, just get a space that you can work that's not at home.
or even
Or a place with an apartment on
something
the
we
top.
can, yeah.
Or there you go, yeah. Though that's more difficult because rental space is at a premium right now. So anything,
But if they owned the building, if it was a commercial spot that had
right,
the stuff above
right,
it.
like the old E Squared was, where it had, which isn't a good example because it wasn't a shop space, but yeah, where it had an apartment upstairs. It's just harder to buy a place that is an apartment at all because any living space is more expensive than,
How many storage sheds do you have?
She just signed on the 4th.
Just this morning.
the thing about storage sheds is you can't work in them.
But
No,
she can
but
store
I can
stuff.
store stuff.
Well, that's great.
So we just opened up. So you guys know the Mercantile, right?
I do.
Okay, I love
I don't
that
know what
store.
we're talking about.
The Mercantile is, they were on the corner of something, Brainerd, I don't know. Isn't that terrible? I just know where it is. I don't know the address, but they moved now over into 371. They're going to be opening up in May. So I'm going to have a space over there too, in addition to my double wide at Salvage Sisters.
What is the Mercantile?
It's a store where they have just like one-of-a-kind unique items, and there's furniture and like antiques, a lot of antiques. Very, very cool. Highly recommend it, but it's going to be opening in May, and it's way bigger than it was. I'm so sorry.
Where was there another one?
You know where it is on the corner. It's kind of
on
like
Washington Street.
Do we
like-
already
it-
have one? There is a Mercantile
They're just
right
getting, they're moving
yes,
locations.
they're moving over to 371.
now? How is there a place I have no idea where it is in Brainerd? Like I've never heard of it.
I think
It's
there's
right
a lot of
there.
places.
It's right where everybody protests and stuff.
Oh, the protest place.
It's on the
Planned
corner.
Parenthood.
It's by the hospital, like on Washington.
No,
No?
it's really that's not that's.
Okay, this is going fucking amazing.
It's in,
Okay, it doesn't
it's
matter.
in Brainerd,
Swimmingly.
it's moving to Baxter.
They're moving to Baxter, so I'm going to open up a space over there. But how you can tell where they're located, there's like a U-Haul place now and a storage
Does it have a K-Bid place too?
Yeah, it's them.
I know where it is.
It's them right on the corner there. So
Amy LaValle.
yeah, yeah. Except I don't think that's Amy with a Y, but that's her. So she's gonna be. I'm working with them now, having some stuff over there. But the reason I even brought that up is because that's where I signed my 4th storage unit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to condense some because it's. I don't want to fill a 4th one.
Well, I mean, really, if you think about it, your rent that you guys pay now plus the rental fees for all you should be able to get a mini mansion.
Yeah, I pay a lot in storage every month.
I bet.
It's silly. And so if we had a house with a garage, I probably wouldn't have to. But we can't get
you know what
one of
happened?
those.
I would be pissed off all the time because I wouldn't be able to park in there.
So about that, Meta likes to. Meta's gonna start a new project. What's it called?
Look what Mad About Now.
Meta buys so much shit that
Amazing stuff.
I don't even understand. But
Is George Carlin like other people's stuff is their shit? Like your stuff is your stuff, but other people's stuff is their shit.
this is
Pretty
not
much
shit.
like I will take someone's free stuff on the corner because it's cool and not do anything with it, but just throw it into my house. But if I'm on Facebook or when I used to scroll Instagram and I see a cool ad for, I don't know, a pore cleaner where all of your blackheads come out in the foam. And I think, $25 for like 3 bottles of that. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Matt, give me your back.
How have I not had that already? Yeah.
Okay, that stuff was amazing.
That
But-
was amazing. Okay, so this is how it really all started out. I saw an amazing ad for a cooler for like $29.95 that had a blender and a cutting board and a Bluetooth stereo and really cool wheels and a whole bunch of other amazing things. And Matt was like, yeah, right. I go, I'm going to get it. Like, this would not be the worst thing I've spent $30 on. So 3 months later,
And she
an
wouldn't
envelope
shut up about it.
comes.
She's like, "Where's my cooler? My cooler's been here." I was like, "Fucking, you're never getting a cooler.
And-
like this isn't happening. You're not gonna buy this."
Oh no, I got a cooler. It was great. So this envelope comes and Mia brings it to me and she goes, "Mom, here's this thing." And I'm like, "What is this?" And I open it up and it was like a cloth cooler from the dollar store
Yeah, you know, like those
with
ones.
the shiny stuff on the
Yeah, with the
inside.
shiny stuff on
And
the
I was
inside.
like, "Motherfucker."
and then I went.
That was the cooler. And I was like, "Really? Where's my blender? Where's my
Where
stuff?"
was it?
And PayPal refunded me immediately.
It wasn't anywhere. That was the cooler. That
was it.
That was the advertised cooler, and it was like literally like.
And it
one
took
of
3
those
months to come. Really, it
dollar
took 3
store
months.
bags that have.
So
the
what
like-
you're saying is you ordered it on Wish.com?
No, I ordered it through whatever their
But it
weird
was-
website
It was
was.
pretty much like Wish.
Christine got that great table saw.
Oh,
It's
From Wish?
It showed up
No.
and it's like this.
yeah.
It's
I
like the
bought,
size of a small cutting board.
the blades are about this big.
So it's a cheese saw?
Guess how much it cost me, and I can't
Well,
get
now
my
it's
money
useful
back.
already.
How much?
160.
No,
Jesus
see, that's
Christ.
not
You could actually
that's-
buy like a real table
I
saw for
know.
that.
I was really sad when he took me into Harbor Freight after that, and I was like, I can't believe I just
Oh,
said.
it's so cute. You guys groom each other. You're like.
They're like
chimps.
monkeys.
Chimp habits, yeah.
So yeah, isn't Harbor Freight going to be the death of you?
I really like it there.
It's so I'm so bad.
I don't know how I got to this point in my life where, I mean, I used to be very frilly, and now I'm like, Harbor Freight, yes. Menards. I love going to Menards and Home Depot, all the places, and it's just,
Speaking of Menards, did you hear about the guy in Hutchinson that like tried to go into Menards without a mask on?
no.
You haven't heard about this yet?
I probably
So the
know
guy-
the fucking guy.
Like probably. So this guy in Hutchinson tries to go into Menards without a mask on, and they're pretty strict there. And the guy at the door, like whatever, tells him that he has to have his mask on, and he like just pushes the guy and like walks through. The guy's like, fuck that. So he goes after him, and the guy like swings a 2x4 at him. And then they call the cops, I guess, and then they get out in the parking lot, and the cops like block him in, right? And then the one cop goes up to the door and like, I don't know exactly, but he ends up reaching inside the vehicle, and the guy rolls his fucking window up and drives off
With the cop in the
with
window?
the cop in the window, and there's video of it.
That's a good idea.
It's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Man.
But I did hear, it kind of pissed me off because I heard some people saying like, oh, if he'd have been a black man, they would have shot him. And it's like, dude, there were cops there with guns and shit, but there was a cop stuck to his fucking door. You can't just start shooting him, So I don't know. I thought that was pretty crazy.
Not if he's white anyway.
Right. But yeah, that was pretty funny. I woke up.
Was the cop white? Actually,
Pretty sure.
I've been watching
The video
speaking
was
of
hilarious,
that.
though.
Did you watch the video that I sent you?
Oh, I don't fucking know. You sent me a lot.
Yeah, it was.
He doesn't watch stuff people send him. Don't send him.
He
stuff.
doesn't watch the stuff I send him, but then
Yeah.
expects you to watch
A lot of
it.
people send me shit like TikTok videos and stuff like that.
Well, what was it? Maybe I did.
It was the guy. The cop shows up after the shoplifting complaint. She like recognized the guy in the video, so she went over to his house. He's got some like developmental / emotional issues. Lives with his mother, and the cop goes in there, and she mishandles it at so many fucking levels. Like this one, I didn't even like this. I wasn't outraged by this. I was just like, holy shit! Like, what do you got to do to be a fucking cop there? It was almost clownish. She just like she keeps getting angry and like escalating the situation and stuff like that. And she's just terrible. She's fucking awful at her job, like all the way through, right up until she shoots the guy's mother.
What?
She fucking draws because the guy freaks out because like the mom gets in between them at one point because they are like a couple of fucking kids like fighting at this point. The guy's mother gets in between them, and she like fucking pushes the mom, and then he's like, "Don't touch my mom," and fucking the girl draws and shoots the floor. She just starts fucking unloading like all over the fucking house, and one of these stray bullets hits the mom.
You got to preface when you send me something like, you really do need to watch this. It's fucking hilarious. And
I don't send you very much stuff. When I do, you need to watch it. But this, because the video's on there and stuff, and it's fucking ridiculous.
It's as bad. I don't know. We're laughing about people getting shot, but the fucking lady cop who came home to her apartment and found a dude in there and then shoots him, and it wasn't her apartment.
Yeah. Went to the wrong
apartment.
Oh my.
I mean, fuck.
Oh man.
I've done that.
I mean, I
I've
get
walked
that.
into the wrong apartment before.
And shot someone.
I didn't shoot them.
Christine, we always find out so many secrets about you.
You know what? I don't think I told this story before.
She wouldn't have shot him, but he moved all of her furniture around.
Right.
I was very confused. Just real quick, I did walk in and I stood there and I was
Into
like, "Who
an
are
apartment?
you?" Yes. I was like, "Why are you? Who are you?" And I was like, "I don't understand where any of my things are." And I just stood there confused. And I lived on the 3rd floor and he was on the 2nd floor. I was on autopilot. I was tired. I just walked into my apartment and he kicked me out very quickly.
So how many times did you shoot him?
I would think he was ready to shoot me because I wouldn't move. And I was like, "But I don't understand." And he was
What?
like, "You need to go."
That is not my couch.
I think he was afraid his wife was going to come home and find me in there or something. I don't know. He just really wanted me gone very quickly.
I'm surprised he didn't try that shit on me when we lived by each other.
So
Why didn't I do that?
That would have been a great.
I can't believe
Put
you
that
didn't
in
try
your
that
book.
stalker move.
I know.
So one time I was at Costco, and I came out and I had a huge, this is back when we had the Shine. I had a huge load of food to like whatever, and I go put it in my van, and I fucking locked my keys in the van, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is horrible, right? So I'm like, fuck. My dad was living with me at the time. He was still kind of okay at the time, so I called him and I'm like, hey Dad, I fucking locked my keys in the car at Costco. Can you grab my keys? Oh yeah, I'll get those. And I'm like, fuck, this is gonna take forever. Like seriously, my food's gonna spoil by the time the old man gets there. So I'm just standing there, waiting for my dad, and then all of a sudden some fucking guy comes up and gets in my van. And I said, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, nothing. And then I push my cart away, and he pulls out, and fucking van is 2 down from him. And I'm like, oh shit. So I go over there. Of course, the doors are unlocked, keys are hanging out of it, like the windows down. I mean, I have very good operational security. So I throw my shit in there, and just as I throw my shit in there, I see my dad coming in, and I'm like, fuck. And he goes, hey, I got your keys. And I'm like, I just got in. And he goes, oh, okay, see you at home or whatever. And I'm like, I'm never telling him. I'm never telling him. The good thing is he's dead now, so I don't ever have to.
He's never gonna find
Thank
out.
God. But yeah, I was so fucking embarrassed, and that guy was like, "What are you doing?" But fucking green Astro vans, they all look exactly alike.
Last time I did that shit, it was I'm walking out of the post office. So what am I doing walking out of the post office? I'm going through my fucking mail. I'm not paying attention. Like it was the car. It was a smaller car, the same color, as our Hyundai, and I fucking had there's like a package and a bunch of shit. So like I open up the back door, I throw all that shit in there. I close the back door, and as I'm closing the fucking back door, I'm thinking to myself, like as I'm reaching for the front door, I'm like, that did not look like my interior.
I don't have a child seat.
With a child. And I'm like, fuck me, and at this point, like I've already got the front door like partway open, and I'm like, okay, I closed that shit quick. But that does not help me out very much because I've still got to go back.
You got to
Take me in the
retrieve the
back.
mail. You're like, fuck.
I'm like, oh fuck, and I'm like, whatever, man. Like,
Without a doubt, that's when he's coming out.
well, see, nobody came out, and I'm like, fucking thank God,
And then, now the guy is at home cleaning his car out, and he's like, "Who the fuck is Kyle Amundson, and why do I
have his fucking mail?
Why is his fucking utility bill in my car?" That's hilarious.
And he gets curious, and he just goes on Facebook, and he's like, "This guy's a fucking asshole. I'm ripping this shit right up."
Oh my god, that's funny. Okay. I'm okay.
But yeah, I've done shit like that so many fucking times, just being distracted, But it's worse when you actually get in the car.
And fucking that key won't go in no matter what you do.
Just that because your seat's always fucked up. You're never gonna fucking find like somebody that's got their seat adjusted just like you. You fucking hop in and yeah. I did that in that fucking Buick that I had. Like there were so many of those things out there,
Yeah.
And I'm like, I might have done that a couple of times.
I actually
Once for sure that I recall.
Logan has like a little black Saturn, and it looks like every other little black Saturn. And I thought he was in the coffee. I thought he was in Caribou the other day, and or no, I actually thought he was sitting in the parking lot. And I walk up behind it, and I'm gonna like slap the top of his car, scare the shit out of him. And I go, not him. Just like I aborted at the very last second. Okay, so then I go in. I think this was the same day. Man, I was just having a good day. So I go into Caribou. I come out. I get in my Land Rover, which I finally fucking got running again, and I love it. It's beautiful. And I go to pull out, and as I'm pulling out, this other lady is pulling out. So we like come pretty close to backing into each other, right? About 3 feet. So wasn't like a near miss or anything like that. And I like stop and like go, and she like looks at me and she gets the, fucking ragey bitch face. And I kind of
I don't know what that is.
give her, the little like go ahead, and she jumps out and she's like, "Did you fucking run into me?" And I was like, no. And she's like, "Watch where you're going, you fucking prick." And I was like, "Oh, listen here, you cunt." And her fucking, she just, it's like, people are so fucking stupid, man. They're so stupid. Like, there's no point in being uncivil, right? But then, like, you poke the bear. So now I'm pissed. But her eyes got like that big, and then she like jumped back in her car and like zoomed off. But I was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna run that. So I like suffered from a little bit of road rage, a little bit, just a wee little bit.
I can't believe that. Road rage is so.
I almost never
pointless.
do. It is pointless, but it's like,
I love to road rage.
don't start fucking yelling at me. It's one thing if somebody's doing something stupid. I can be really stupid. Like, I get it. Like, I usually am pretty good about it. Like, one time I was trying to turn and like I got kind of stuck and I was like sitting in the middle of the thing and some guy started honking at me and I was in the middle of a conversation. So I just figured to put it in park and finish my conversation. And I was talking to my friend Steve and he's like, "You're going to get us fucking killed." And I was like, they'll get over it. Like, that guy was being an asshole. I'm just gonna finish what I was saying. And then I put it in drive and drove off. So usually I don't get whatever, but man, you can't come at me like that. Tell me I can't fucking drive. Plus, I had a big fucking Land Rover. She had like a little Toyota. I would run that thing right over.
Yeah, I can't recall the last road rage incident that I had.
bullshit.
I
was probably on the way here.
no. It's been a while.
Maybe you're.
But now that I'm like I
You don't go anywhere, really.
Well, I
mean,
still end up driving a lot though.
Yeah. I'm leaving your home a lot.
That's true.
I always go by myself, because now with a toddler who doesn't really get out much, where, it's one or the other.
Right.
So I guess I don't recall either. But
We could probably look at Facebook
I get road anxiety
and find out.
when I ride with Meta.
Yeah, he tuck and rolled the first time we went to the cities together. Like literally jumped out of the car when we got to Minneapolis and was like, "I'll find you where you go." And I'm like, "Okay." I don't know where I'm going, but
I couldn't handle it
you
anymore.
did not.
Yes, he did.
Well, we were like
that wasn't the first time because
3
we did go to a
blocks.
concert before that.
We were like 3 blocks from where
but
we
you
were
drove.
supposed to be, and I just couldn't handle it. And she's like driving around looking for a parking spot, and I'm like, "Fuck it!" I said, "Stop the car," and I just jumped out, and I was like, "I'll find you," and that was it. I couldn't handle it anymore.
It wasn't even a dramatic driving
It was
experience.
fucking crazy. I mean, there's no parking spots. People are coming out. She's like fucking
We're
going
in
way too fast. I'm
Minneapolis.
like, I can't handle this. I fucking
Going
can't
way too
handle this.
fast. I was probably going 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
In a busy parking lot.
No, it wasn't
on
a parking lot. We were on the street.
on a tiny little residential street with 0 parking, and I don't do well.
See, parking fucking infuriates me. But I will drive around for fucking like 3 hours to find a good parking spot to save myself like 30 seconds.
Seriously, I will park. I'll park a half a mile away and just walk. Like, it doesn't bother me at all.
If I think of it, I will. But my natural inclination is to just be patient and get that fucking really good spot.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's never worth it.
And I'll think about it ahead. Like, I'm like, okay, this is where I'm going to park. Like, if I'm pretty familiar with the place, I'm like, this is where
I
I'm gonna
have
park.
parking spots at places I frequent.
I mostly think about how easy it will be to get out. Like
Yeah.
I'll park in a way that, like,
but if I can go across the, if I can, yeah.
or like if it's like going to be a place that's going to fill up busy behind me, I'll park far away so that I can get the fuck out of there if I need to.
Or if shooting starts, like.
Or if shooting starts. Yes,
These things happen.
it does every once in a while. That was my ice machine dropping.
Oh, I was like, is someone knocking on the door?
No, that was the ice machine dropping. So I don't know. Speaking of end of times, I've been fucking going down the rabbit hole on some end of times books lately. I want to recommend.
Good, because I need some stuff. I really have been. I've been on like this fucking close to buying Odd Billy Todd.
Oh, it's a pretty good one. It's a good one.
Can't you just share it with him if
could-
you have it on your...
I could give it to him, but then I can't listen to it again.
You do that.
That one I
doesn't
do.
that like cost you
Re-listen?
credits or something?
No, you can give anybody a
does.
book, but then it's gone. Because you keep them forever, but so then you can't go back to them. You'd have to buy it again.
Or he could give it back to you.
I don't think so.
I bet he could.
Maybe, I don't know.
Then he just wouldn't have it anymore.
Whatever. It's 1 credit.
Well, see, right, I've been like hoarding my credits now because now I got like 4 credits.
Well, 0 day code is a free one.
Yeah,
And
that's on my.
it's a
list.
series.
Did you do
There's 3 books in the series, and they're pretty fucking good. The first 2 are really good, and then the third one is a little bit weak. But the funny part in it, and I'm not wrecking anything for you, but kind of the scenario that happens is that the Chinese government is essentially trying to cause a global meltdown of the United States, whatever. But they launch like this multi-prong attack on the U.S. And the fucking one of the most interesting things that they did was this cyber attack. But one of the things that they did was they took all of the Facebook statuses of military personnel that were in relationships, and they changed the status from married or in a relationship to it's complicated.
I was like, that would piss me off.
I mean, I read that. I was like, or I listened to that, and I was like, oh fuck, it's just the ice machine. It'll be done in a second. But I was like, oh fuck, that's That's pretty nasty. Can you imagine if like it's complicated? It's fucking complicated. And I told Meta that right away. I was like, oh my God, they did this thing in this book. And she goes, oh, that'd be it. I was like, it's a fucking cyber attack. She's like, I don't care. I don't care who did it. You say it. I was like, okay. Very understanding. I guess I'm getting a very understanding vibe from you, my love. Is that what I'm getting? Yeah.
But I mean, realistically, I think most, especially women, would be like, good to know.
Oh, I don't think just women. That would be. I mean, that's a pretty fucking like,
Too bad we're not cyber sleuths and we can't change all of our friends' things to it's complicated just to see.
It would be a really fucked up thing to do.
A fun experiment, yeah.
Yeah.
And by fun, I mean fucking tragic and evil.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty diabolical, but it's good and it's a free one. So 0-day code.
I will check it out. I'm halfway through Fire in the East, which is another historical fiction, another piece of historical fiction from a guy. Last name is Sidebottom.
Did you get the book just because his name was Sidebottom?
Man, Sidebottom.
It's a good book.
That's like front butt. Oh, Sidebottom though. I'm like, whoever named you should make up their fucking mind. I think with Michael Sidebottom, but it's like a Roman siege or defending from. It's in Syria, defending a Roman officer defending this city from a siege. Fucking
I've only ever listened to one book.
Yeah.
And it was something, I think I made you listen to it. It was like something 51 and it was good. But I was busy doing something at work for like 3 days in a row in the summer, like flooring, and I was scrubbing it. So it was perfect.
You listen to quite a few podcasts though. You listen to
I can listen to
Serial.
podcasts. And when I'm doing stuff, I will listen to TV shows or movies. Like I don't need to look at it. So
yeah,
you would think I would like books on tape or whatever, but I don't.
So last summer you didn't really work at the AEC like you did before.
Right.
I mean, you didn't have 8-hour days where you were by yourself.
Right. It was like 2 hours.
But when you are by yourself for 8 hours doing like gardening or whatever, man, listening to a book is so awesome. I mean, it just
except for that I can read that same book in 2 hours.
Yeah, but you can't also mow the lawn or like
you had me
wax
being
the
by
floor.
yourself for 8 hours.
Yeah, I know.
Matt's by
I can't
himself
relate.
every
I'm
day
by
for
myself
like
all the time.
20 hours a day.
Not 20, but
Pretty much.
10, 12.
So ever since Kyle got these fancy earbuds that you have,
Yeah.
we were talking about this last time we saw Matt, and I was telling him, I'm like, every time I try talking to him, because they're behind,
You
right?
don't notice.
And then I'll be like, la 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 la, I need you to pick up a piece of furniture, and he'll be like, like tapping the phone off, and then he's like rewinding it. What was that?
You can just hit the button on the side.
But he can't.
Yeah, that's what I usually do.
Do you go through that with Matt, where
I
you
say-
like start talking
yeah.
and then they're
Well,
listening?
Yeah, I don't usually listen around people. Like I don't really like to do that because
I don't have any options.
Well, right. I would if I was just around people all the time, but I'm usually by myself. But then if Meta walks in, she'll say something to me, and I have to hit my thing, and I say what? Like almost every time I say what, but I might say that even if I could hear.
I wore mine last summer too a couple of times so that I figured people could talk to me and it didn't work.
Yeah,
It's
I can't
hard.
be listening to. I
was
can't
fine.
hear anything.
I like them
people
for
say.
when I'm on the scooter.
That doesn't mean I can hear. Like
Yeah.
if somebody says stop, I can hear that.
You just don't.
I
listen
just
to
don't. I can't listen to somebody telling me anything. Yeah.
I just have to wait now and just
That
like
sounds like a defense strength in court. I can hear someone say stop, but it just doesn't mean anything to me.
Anyway, I miss the days before these earpods. I think he just puts in a book and
Yeah, it's awesome.
tunes me out.
You just have to join them. That's all you can do. I also wanted to mention one other one, which is a series that you have to pay for, but it's a good deal. It's like a 40 hours of a series of books that you get all in one package. But John Howard recommended it to me, and it's called Locker 9, and that's a really interesting one too. Kind of shit hits the fan and like what happens, but it's about a group of people that are really, really, really prepared. And it was pretty interesting because usually it's like people who aren't really prepared try to get, but man, it's the really prepared. It was pretty interesting. I mean, they had compounds and stuff, and yeah, it was cool. Yeah. kind of interesting. But yeah,
You guys should watch Resident Alien.
have you guys heard or seen
You
anything
know,
about that?
I know it started, and I meant to watch it too because like I saw the trailer a million times, and I was kind of looking forward to it. I like him a lot. You know,
Who is he?
Never
dude,
seen
he
it
was the
before.
fucking pilot on Firefly.
Oh, I never watched Firefly. So
What is it streaming on?
It's
Well, we-
on Sci-Fi.
yeah, it's a sci-fi. I think you can get it if you have Hulu Plus, which you have, right?
Yeah, we probably got it. We probably got like fucking
have
3 different
everything.
ways to
We
watch
just
it.
bought it on Amazon. If that was the easiest
I
way.
was surprised because it was like, especially the first 2 episodes, we like belly laughed.
I haven't
Almost the whole
laughed
thing.
that hard on watching
Really?
a television show. I don't know if I've ever laughed that hard watching a television show.
But have you watched
Whatever.
Ted
it's-
Lasso?
That's the one that's on Apple Plus.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's fun.
maybe we could try that one next. I don't have Apple Plus, but I've been
It's
meaning
so
to get it
goddamn
again.
funny. You will be so.
It's a
bummed
feel
out
good,
when it's over.
funny. Yeah, it's
But yeah, and it really like, it's. I don't know how they made such a feel good show so genuinely like adult funny. It's
my only advice. I do highly recommend it. It's one of my favorites, but it took me like a full episode to get into it at first.
So Matt will shut it off.
No,
but it's. I
I
mean, keep in
struggle.
mind it's a half-hour show.
Well, not only that,
Yeah.
but it takes place in
that's a problem though. Then
England.
we'll watch the whole thing in one night.
Yeah, it takes place in England, so like their humor, their everything is.
I
it's
like
just-
English humor,
yeah, it's-
British humor, whatever.
So it just took me like 5 minutes to get into it, and so
And it's
just get through the first
What,
episode.
Andy Sudeikis, is that his name?
Jason,
Jason Sudeikis, yeah.
What's it called?
Ted Lasso.
And it
Very,
is.
very funny.
It's seriously the funniest thing I've seen in forever and ever. I mean,
Well, okay, we'll try that one, but you guys got to try Resident Alien because
All
yeah,
right,
I've
deal.
been, I've been meaning to anyway.
it just wrapped up. That we just watched the last.
Because he's like the town doctor.
Just watch the show.
Yeah, like
Oh.
the premise is that
He's
an
in
alien is the
The
town doctor.
wilderness or whatever. Okay.
He's hiding out.
But
like-
really, we can't
I
tell you
know.
anything because it's like
It's-
a wreck ship. But it's so fucking funny.
We saw the trailer for that. We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly.
and I didn't know anything about it. But a friend of mine, like, it's all I ever ask people. Like,
What are you watching?
What are you watching? Yeah, especially couples.
You
And
should ask that lady who almost hit you.
yeah, I should have been like,
Yeah, not the road, bitch.
hey,
By the way, what are you watching?
ditto, cunt. By the way, what are you watching? I just love when you call somebody a cunt, like what happens to their face. Like it's a genuine, like, holy shit, he went there.
We had watched our last series we watched was United States of Terra, and that was a little too. I mean, I think it's a great series, but Matt was like, we have to
Oh, it
watch
was
something.
good, but it
he
was-
was like, we have to watch
Tara Reid?
something that's not. No, what is that actress's name?
I don't know what her name is, but it's on
It's a woman
HBO, but it's
who-
old. It's like, was it 2015 or something? I guess it came out, and but it's good. It's about a lady that has multiple personality disorder.
I've seen that. Yeah.
And they do a really good job with it because it's serious enough. They take it on serious enough, but it's also really funny.
Isn't that the sister that's now Captain Marvel or in Marvel? Isn't she in that show?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh,
When you say sister, do you mean sibling or do you mean like?
sibling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
She was in a HBO or whatever. Maybe it was. a
I
different
caught
one.
you. I got you.
I'm trying to think.
What, I totally.
I was thinking because like what, she said like Captain Marvel and sister, and I was like Jessica Rambo, like, but
No idea.
Speaking of sisters, I was talking to Antia the other day. If you don't remember, Antia has been on our program a while back. You should probably check it out.
Oh, are you saying that to people? Like not us? I was like,
Yeah,
we all know.
I
who
talk to
Antia is.
people.
Okay.
I'm talking to Shelly, the only one who listens.
I'm Meta. This is Christine. And
Antia.
that's Kyle.
Was on the show a while back, but she has two pretty adorable dogs. And I have been kind of toying with the idea of getting a dog, and Meta's hasn't been super excited about the prospect.
I mean, he posted on Facebook, and I was like, good to know you're thinking of getting a dog. Cool.
It's not
Cool
like
story,
I haven't
bro.
talked about it for a year. But then Meta saw Antia's dog and was like, I kind of like those dogs. And then, so I was like, oh, well, I'll find out what kind of dog she has. And so we call her up and I'm talking to her. And I'm talking to her on
Speakerphone.
And she just cracks me up because she's like, I don't know. She's like, oh my God, my mom's calling. My mom's up my dick.
She's get off my dick,
Get
Tina.
off my dick, Tina. Just cracking me up. But then she's like, yeah. So the kind of dog that it is it's a golden doodle. So it's a golden retriever and a poodle mix. And she was like, yeah, they're great. They don't shed because they got the nap. I just thought that was funny. And then she's like, yeah, we should. It'll be funny. We'll both have nappy dogs and we can run around the park and everything. So we're talking about it, about doing it. But yeah,
He's going to see the dogs on the 20th.
with money in hand.
So are you looking for a puppy?
Yeah, I want a
yeah,
puppy.
you want.
They're pretty cute.
And I'm like, and I know, and I really appreciate everybody who was like, go check out the Binsky Foundation and da-da-da-da. And I love the idea of rescuing dogs and so on and so forth, but I'm really weird about dogs anyway. Like I have a hard time with dogs and I love them, but I'm like kind of afraid of them. And I just want to kind of know where the dog came from, what its history was. And even in a puppy, you know, I want to know what the parents were like and so on and so forth. So.
You're not exactly thrilled about like, you know, getting the rescue pit bull that was raised in dog fighting pens.
Literally,
And
one of my coworkers was like, hey, Matt, I know you're looking for a dog, and sends me the picture of this just fucking adorable baby pit bull that came from a fucking fighting pen in Texas. Like, because I guess when the power went out in Texas, there's like a glut of like dogs for adoption right now because they were all taken from Texas when the power went out. And so many people were like, oh, okay. But yeah, and that shit piles of pit bulls.
Which is
like, and
basically kind of what you should do with the state of Texas. You should just break that up, send those people to real states, and fucking, you know, maybe you send them back to Texas at some point so like they can have like real fucking people that live in their state and, you know, like function and
that was an interesting thing about Texas losing power though, because like they were basically Texas is so what's the kind of
fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's a synonym for that, but it's a political
Inbred?
party. It's a
Republican?
Oh, red.
No, the other one. Libertarian. That's what I was looking for.
Oh,
yes.
gotcha.
They're so like libertarian, so they're so like, you know, nobody's going to tell us what to do, that they kind of completely deregulated the electrical
Yeah,
grid.
absolutely.
Which actually was in some ways super great because it made the fucking power in Texas was super fucking cheap, but there was no government oversight because Texas was like, fuck it, we don't need government oversight. We're going to pay pennies on the dollar for this power. The problem is when there was no government oversight, there was no safety net, and when shit hit the fan,
Their grid
it
is
was a
garbage.
catastrophic failure. And because they're so fuck you to every other state around them,
Nobody wanted to help them.
no, not only that, they didn't have the infrastructure. It wasn't like I can't think of a neighboring state, New Mexico. So right, I don't know.
Louisiana.
Geography's not my thing. But like Minnesota couldn't be like, hey neighbor, like we'll just give you power. There was no connecting lines. There was no infrastructure in place for even for that. So it was a catastrophic failure.
But that happens with Texas. Every few years, Texas has some fucking disaster.
Huge disaster.
And people need to help them out. And then as soon as they leave, Texas forgets and feels all independent and fucking big king shit
And
again.
isn't like one of their motto "Never forget" or something like that?
I
Something
don't-
about
no,
the Alamo.
I think that was 9/11.
No, it's remember the Alamo?
Remember the Alamo.
Is that? I don't know if that's their.
That's different than never forget.
I don't know if that's their state motto, but yeah, they obviously don't have that great of memory. I don't even think they remember that they lost at the Alamo. Right? It was literally an ass kicking.
Oh, brutal.
So
Yeah.
did the power thing get figured out then? I guess I don't really follow.
Yeah, it did now. Yeah.
So this will never essentially happen.
Oh,
no,
fuck no.
because-
No.
But it was
Definitely
more.
happening
It was more than just the power because they got weather that their houses aren't built for, and they're not prepared for that kind of stuff, and nothing can work. And the lady delivering groceries had to stay and eat steaks because her car went off the road when she was door dashing groceries to someone.
Oh
And
my.
But I mean, it was pretty bad because
it did look traumatic. I mean, if you weren't used
20
to it.
degrees in Texas, you know, which is not livable. You can't like live outside in 20 degrees. They don't have shit for insulation in their houses because it doesn't get 20 degrees, and there's no power.
All
and
of their pipes
almost
were
all of-
exploding because
almost
they were
all
frozen.
of their, and not just their house pipes, but their ground pipes, because
Yeah.
their pipes aren't buried deep enough to like
It was the
handle a
pictures
deep
were
frost.
crazy.
It was pretty catastrophic. Yeah.
I had one friend who she only lost power. Her and her husband, and they have a gaggle of kids, have a giant house and like a lot of property. And they were inviting, they're like, we still have power, we still have food, we have water, like come on out. And then they ended up losing. They had all these families there, and then they lost everything but only like 3 hours. And then they were like, oh shit.
And the rest of
And then
all
it
those
was
other
like,
families are
uh-oh.
like, fuck you guys, this
No,
sucks.
no. Then they ended up getting it back, but yeah. So they had their own like mini compound. And it
Time
worked
to
out really well.
leave. Yeah, it's pretty something else. But there was a lot of people pointing to the, because there's a pretty significant chunk of Texas power grid that's actually like green power, solar power, wind power, mostly wind actually.
Yeah.
And it failed catastrophically, and they're like, that's the problem. It's like, okay, that was 30% of their power, but also their coal industry failed catastrophically, their natural gas industry failed catastrophically, and their nuclear failed catastrophically. So guess what? It all fucking failed catastrophically.
And people aren't inspecting those things because everything's fucking deregulated and shit like that. So I mean, like the same fucking the same wind turbines and shit that are functioning perfectly in fucking North Dakota or whatever. North Dakota is a bad example for anything, but it focus. They work great in fucking Antarctica.
Right.
Hey, no problem in Antarctica. But no, yeah, you're right. Absolutely. They were absolutely right. Too cold for fucking,
Well, and
too cold for
really
Texas.
the problem was that it wasn't like the wind turbines stopped turning. It was that the infrastructure that
Yeah.
connected them to the grid had a catastrophic failure. It's a pretty bad fuck up. Yeah.
I'm actually, the next book on my list, it's not even free. I got to buy it. Is A Libertarian Walks into a Bear.
That's the name of the
Is
book.
this literally what?
Yeah. It's a pretty new book. Basically, it's kind of why, like, it talks about like why libertarian utopia doesn't fucking work. I think that's the gist of it. But it's a real community that developed some bear problems and stuff. And yeah, I'll tell you more about it
okay.
after I read it.
Interesting.
But I saw a little thing. I saw a little thing on it on YouTube, and I was like, "That sounds fucking great." So that's how I'm gonna check that out.
Then are you guys gonna have Craig on?
Yeah. No.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's not gonna work out for
maybe
me.
not for a while anyway.
What'd you do with the packages that were on the table
I
of
chucked
stuff
them
I
over
bought
there.
now?
Oh, we never got back to that.
Oh, the only reason I was asking is because Christine does not drink, and one of the beautiful packages I have is non-alcoholic alcohol. Because I thought, oh my gosh, for all my friends who don't drink,
known as water.
all my friends in pretty bottles, all my friends who don't drink, like it'd be super fun to have really fun mocktails with them
Mocktails.
when they come over. But I haven't.
Oh, get this package.
Okay, we'll do it on the break.
All
but
right.
let me finish complaining about Look What Meta Bought Now. So,
I didn't realize you
We
were
don't have-
complaining about it.
well, you'll have to rewatch it. So, like
It's my
last summer, during COVID, spent a lot of time getting the whole garage cleaned out. I had it set up pretty nice, whatever. And we got the scooters
Oh,
in
I'm
there,
like,
whatever.
what did I buy? I know what I bought.
She bought a fucking pallet. A fucking pallet.
I'm so jealous.
Not just like I like pallets. I collect them. I make shit out of them. Just the wood part. No. This one's a big, full, fucking floor-to-ceiling box that somebody
From Bed Bath and Beyond, all brand new
Brian.
things.
Now, most people that buy those resell it on the marketplace, but
I
I do
sold-
not see you on the marketplace.
No, I did sell. I sold a whole bunch of the what are they?
Touche,
Massager things.
Christy.
The massager things, and I already had made my money back, and so then there is more.
It's a
stuff I could sell.
massager.
There's still a pallet, though, of stuff that
There's like 30 things left in there.
They sold all the vibrators. Get rid of the rest of that shit.
They have had boxes of vibrators.
pallets.
No, box.
Massagers.
So we were talking about Meta starting her own YouTube channel she would like, because she doesn't even know. When she gets back, she's like, oh my God, I wonder what
He's
this
like,
is.
what
That's
is
the
this?
fun
And I'm
part.
like,
And it's an
I
unboxing
don't know. I
video.
have no idea.
especially
And then
now
she-
when stuff doesn't come when it says it's gonna come.
So then we would just sit down here and we would be like, look what Meta bought now. And then
People love unboxing videos.
open
That would be
do.
fucking
I
great.
wonder what I bought. And then open it up and be like, oh, this is it. This is whatever.
The
And,
face stuff was
some-
good though.
Yeah, but some of the stuff is
So
not that
I've
great.
seen TikTok videos where people are buying pallets of undeliverable Amazon packages. And so you have no idea you're buying a pallet of packages, and then you just
Of returns, isn't it usually?
Don't send a link to that.
I think that would be so much fun.
You can do it.
don't know what you're
so
getting.
on
each-
bulk.com you can do the same thing. It's
I think we would have a great time
return
doing
stuff,
something like
and
that.
it seriously is. So some of the stuff is really awesome, and then some of it is like half your case is broken. I wouldn't buy a pallet, but you can get them for really cheap.
No, these are specific Amazon ones that like nobody that were undeliverable. So it's not returns, and so a lot
Okay,
of them.
send me the link. Let's do this. Let's open up a
Wouldn't that
package.
be so much
Oh,
fun?
fuck my ass.
Look what spitballing got now. Undeliverable packages.
But it would be kind of fun to do because I'm obviously going to be an asshole about it, and then Meta can like show how great it is.
You
and-
stole one of the face foams. I don't know what you're talking about. You owe me
Face foam.
$30.
What if we had them going through a palette of stuff with no audio, and it's just us talking shit?
we could do it like we
That
could do
would
it
be
like fight.
hilarious.
We could do it like fight commentary.
Yes.
We're like,
Hey Kyle, like Christine's technique, like when she goes overhand there. Now, can you explain to me?
what's that move called?
We
Look
have
at how
to do-
excited they are about this fucking piece of garbage. What is that even? I don't know, Kyle. What you know?
This is very reminiscent of chimp behavior. They're fucking grooming each other.
We need to do this.
Especially
But-
because you can get really awesome stuff.
Now,
You can get really shitty stuff. too.
unfortunately, I have "Look What Meta Bought Now" in my head as like a theme song because she sings it all the time.
I
like
do.
every
And
time
now
I-
the kids do it too. It's great.
Yeah, so super awesome.
But I haven't bought any. The last things I bought were that and whatever the other box is that I don't know. Something.
There's still a fucking pallet of shit in the garage, baby.
I got some really cool socks that have like strongmen on it.
She-
They say they're
she-
the best socks ever. They're pretty
She
comfortable.
pulled all this like statue of like a baseball player, and it was like that big, and I mean, it was a
You
fucking
pulled it
baseball
out.
player. Whatever.
You opened the pallet. I didn't even do it.
I was trying to get it the fuck out of the garage, and then she's like, "Okay, I'm done looking at this shit." She fucking throws something in there and breaks the baseball bat off the guy, and I was like,
I was
There
like,
go.
I could have sold that. And he
There
was like,
goes the
can't
wiener.
now.
"Yeah." So
Sounds
that's it.
fun.
That's not fun at all.
Oh, it would be like Christmas. I'd love it.
Well, it would be a lot like Christmas. Really miserable.
I like that. You love Christmas.
I love Christmas here. Like I've always been so negative on Christmas, but Christmas is fun with the Mandich household. So
Everything is fun with the Mandich household.
no, not everything. You should try driving with her.
It's weird because everyone always wants me to drive everywhere.
Oh, it's because I like to drink a lot. I don't usually mind when you're driving home. I mind a lot more on the way.
Speed up. Take that corner faster, pussy.
No, I never say that actually. Yeah, the last time we went out to pizza with Meta's second. I can never remember which one.
was like-
I can never remember if Corbin's first or second, but with
No,
Corbin,
Well, that wasn't the last thing we did.
whatever.
Oh, but you drove. He did drive the last time we went
Oh,
somewhere.
yeah, I did.
When we went to dinner with the
I
boys.
did. Yeah, we went to Five Rocks. Oh, yeah. I know you don't drink, Christine, but have you been to Five Rocks Distillery yet? It's right on Washington
It's
Street.
the old Tom's
It
TV.
used to be the old Tom's TV.
Oh, right on.
But it's like a local distillery, and they make, I don't know,
Hand sanitizer.
they do make hand
That's
sanitizer
what their vodka
that smells
smells
like
like.
booze. But yeah, they have this like cool little bar room in there, and they make these really like interesting, cool craft cocktails.
Your drink was good.
Yeah, I had an espresso martini that was pretty fucking fantastic. Actually, like, it was really good.
It wasn't my vibe. Like, It
know
was
if it was
nice.
my
I
vibe
don't know
either.
that I would. It's not somewhere I'd be like, hey, you guys, come
Really?
meet us at there. I'd rather meet.
I would go there for one drink. It's like a place to go for one drink. And you're paying for it. I mean, it's $10, $12, $15 for your drink, depending on, what they get. But they're doing really
Probably
kind
about
of
that.
neat stuff. And it's really cool. I liked it a lot. And then we went out to the 218 and had dinner, which was great. But before that, we went to the new pizza place, Dobro's.
Yeah.
I've heard good
so
things.
fucking good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
That's the one that used to be the
Boomer.
the Floyd brothers. Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be Boomers. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, the
98
those guys do
graduates are
everything right.
taking over the world. So the former owner was a 98 graduate, and Foy is a 98 graduate. I mean, I'm doing nothing, but I also am a 98 graduate.
I'm telling you, the Floyd boys.
You might take over the world.
Those guys are.
You're not doing nothing though,
That's right. I'm doing that.
because
She's buying shit.
you're doing that, and then your splash pad.
Yeah.
I
Splash
mean,
pad.
big things
We're
are
going to break
happening
ground
there.
in May.
Is it going to be ready by this summer?
I don't know.
Well, they're looking for a full-time lifeguard, and that's really the holdup.
we are not looking
That's
for
what's
I was
been the
like, it's
holdup.
concrete.
No, it's just my favorite objection. People are like, "Yeah, but we'll need a lifeguard on your duty." It's like it's 3 inches of water. You
if that, I mean,
a lifeguard with like fucking elbow pads and all kinds of shit to protect them from fucking sliding and getting like abrasions.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, we're jumping all over you, everybody. But I just saw a fucking stupid video on Facebook where they were playing slip and slide kickball. And I was
Yes.
like, oh my god, we
We could do
totally
it at
got
the
to do
park.
that. But I'm totally gonna die because that is it looks so dangerous.
No, I was just gonna say the dessert at Dobro's was like churro sticks. Remember with like the
I don't remember that dessert. But
you guys ate it. You guys all complained
It was
that I
really
got
good.
dessert and that I got appetizers, and then you ate my dessert.
I don't remember that part.
Anyway, it was delicious.
It was really good. It was a lot of fun. But then I don't know. Meta got her panties in a bunch on the way home, and she's driving crazy. And then she goes whipping in front
oh
of our
yeah,
house.
I was like, no, I did not.
And there was somebody parked in our neighbor. So we have great neighbors.
they weren't parked. They were facing
Okay.
the wrong way on the
We
wrong
have-
side of
but
the
we have-
street
we
as
have-
I turned like
we
a
have
normal
great
person around the
neighbors.
corner.
But the house behind us is a rental. So it has like 5 or 6 units in it or whatever. And so that's a little sketchy sometimes. So the meth heads are parked in the middle of the road or the wrong side of the road, the wrong way. And Meta comes fucking riding up on him like and fucking get him.
And then I went.
And I was like, oh, great. Now I get to fight some fucking meth
he was
heads.
like, they are going to pop my tires.
And then I'm like, yeah, now I'm going to get my fucking tires slashed because you, and then.
Because
yeah,
I was driving like a normal person
A
and turned onto
normal
the
person?
spot
you
of the
just,
street.
they're your,
Not to mention, you can beat on a meth head forever.
forever. Like a day and a half.
Fuck my life.
And then we pulled up and Matt jumped out of the car, and then I started to get out, and a car pulled up real fast right next to us with 2 young fellas in it asking me what my problem was.
Oh, really?
And I was like, what are you talking about? I don't have a problem. Sir, seems like you have a problem. And I was like,
Then
no.
you got to fight the meth heads and these kids.
Well, her car just doesn't work
Like they
anymore.
were
Her
all the
brakes
same.
just happened to go out right there. And I was like, wow, do you need my help pushing it? I can come help you push the car out of the street that's on the wrong way. And they were like, no. And I'm like, well, her brake lights are on. Seems like her brakes might be working. And then she just happened to drive away. So cool story,
But
bro.
I'm like, don't fight. Don't pick fucking fights with your neighbors.
That's not a fight. Driving like a normal person.
It's a fight you can't win because you don't actually get to fight it. That's the problem. It's not like when you have shit meth head neighbors, you're not gonna get to go.
They're
fight
not
them.
all meth. I mean,
Not
we don't
all
even
of
really
them.
know this,
Well,
and I don't even think
uh,
those guys live there. I've never seen any of
Probably
those
not.
people there before.
No, they were just there buying meth, obviously. But
But the other 4 apartment people seem totally fine.
right,
It's always just whoever rents that.
but it only takes
particular
one meth head to fucking spoil the bunch. That's the saying. One bad meth head spoils the bunch.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that's a saying. I think it was it's probably Jesus, right? I'm not up on
Ask
my
Dave Bedell.
scripture. So speaking of Dave Bedell, you mentioned the splash pad.
Yeah.
We've had Dave on. He was probably episode 10ish or 11ish or something like that.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
we're early.
I
on.
believe you called him Dave Badouche.
I did call him Dave Badouche.
Now
actually,
he's
I was
Mayor Badouche?
I was kind of mean to him on that in that podcast,
I like
and I
Dave.
enjoy being mean to Dave. But he's actually turned out to be a pretty goddamn good mayor.
He's a great mayor, and he's a great financial person for us. So.
Yeah. But I was like, when he took over being mayor, I was like, well, one of those is going to go 50-50, right? But yeah, he's doing a good job. And right away, once he got in and they started talking to him about the splash pad thing, what? You rolling your eyes?
Well, because he was already our because he works for Community Action.
Yeah. So he's already working before he was in as mayor, right?
So he already knew it, and he was just like, hey, once we get some new blood into city council, and stuff like that, once we get some of the older people out, it should be easier to get funds into that kind of stuff. So actually how it worked out was your neighbor by the shop.
I don't know.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
The wood guy.
The wood guy.
The one who you always want to go and talk to.
Oh, yeah.
Why can't I think what his name is?
Oh, I don't know. Lauren's dad?
Yep.
That's what I think of.
Lauren's dad is the park board president. So when he just got that, he contacted us about becoming part of the Memorial Park thing and then said, I'll come with you guys. Let's ask the city for a matching grant up to $100,000. And then Dave was like, I'm like, that sounds good to me. Like, let's see how this meeting goes.
Because how long ago did you start working on Splash Pad?
5 years.
5 years. And you guys
4 years ago, we started raising money.
So 4 years banging your head against the wall, banging your head against the wall, banging your head against the wall, raising money, but still never getting there.
Well, yeah.
And then,
it took the Deerwood Splash Pad. It was 10 or 11 years to get theirs. So,
well, that's actually not bad.
Yeah. No, we already had raised more money than they raised total in our time.
Huh. Except for all the kids that got fucking cheated out of using that thing because they're not even little kids anymore.
Oh.
Right.
Of course, it's Deerwood. It's one of these little towns around here. So,
have you guys been to the Deerwood Splash Pad?
all those people that aged
it?
out by 5 years,
They're still there hanging out.
Yeah,
It's like behind the old firehouse, but
they all have kids now.
Emily and I went last year just to check it out, and it's small, but we were the only people there, and it was like 90 degrees, and there's, I would assume, lower income apartments kind of by it. So why aren't those people utilizing it? I'm like, we get the whole park to ourselves, and Emily and I are like, and they have a brand new playground. I was like, yeah, this is so awesome.
They're just out there like at different times, like they're with like shampoo bottles.
Well, that's what I was saying. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on here.
Like that's what they do in lieu of bathing.
But the kids liked it.
But
it was fun.
like, do you want to meet us out there? And I was like, oh no, I'm busy or whatever. But like, I could come out in my van and just hang out in my creeper van, drive around real slowly,
waving at the kids
till you get pistol whipped.
You can't really drive around it. You could drive
through
you
it.
could just go back and forth and back like
I
that.
haven't been there, but
yeah, no, it is nice.
I do get a lot less dirty looks driving the Land Rover though. It's nice.
We've got one in Pine River.
A white van?
A Land
No,
Rover.
a splash pad. It's actually more of a mud puddle.
Oh,
but,
I was like, you guys do?
Yeah, that's a mud puddle. But
Where's Memorial Park again? Remind me.
The softball fields. What's the
218?
place? No, yeah.
It's
Mill
just up the
Avenue.
road from 218.
what's the parking situation going to be like for that?
Okay. It's on the right. If I'm going north, it would be on my right.
It's across from
after
Potlatch. Across
it's
from
across.
Potlatch.
So it's on the right. But parking should be good because the baseball field's right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the one where the baseball fields are on that side?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't think that you'd have hard parking
That'd
There's
be a
really
good-
not. I mean, that's not a ton of parking. But
for a splash pad.
But it's also there's also other things going on like softball, baseball.
During softball and baseball, you might have a hard time finding parking. Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I mean, we'll see. We're just glad it's happening, and
Word.
yeah.
bummed I can't sit on the porch and just watch the kids drinking my morning coffee. But
Yeah, because it was going to be in Gregory Park, or that was the original plan. But
don't jump on stuff. Don't hit that with a baseball bat.
right.
We raised all the money for that.
But then you'd have, then you'd probably have a crowd of like all the white vans would be like lined up around all the way around the park.
What are we white?
Like-
What are you white van shaming me, you motherfucker?
Fucking drinking their coffee with fucking newspaper over their lap.
That's like I feel like I've been white van shamed.
You were really proud the day you got your
I
white van.
fucking love my van. I love it. I still love it.
I'm still thinking about getting one.
I thought it was.
I think you guys should get the bus.
The green one?
Man,
I mean,
it's
I was
sold, but that
when you
thing
were
was
like,
dope.
Christine, can I have this? I was like, I think it should be a yes.
I said
I know.
yes.
And it was
I did.
fucking $2,500. It was really cheap. But, we can't. If only the back of a van opened up like like a hatch or something.
I know a guy
like,
who could make that happen.
I think I could build the whole thing from wood.
Probably could.
A wooden bus.
Why not?
Okay. How's your wooden bumper?
Good. Kicking ass. I almost ran that fucking lady over with it the other day. I want to hit something hard with it and see how it holds up, and I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't do that. Speaking of your home area, well, it's not exactly your home area, but you hear about the Pequot Lakes superintendent thing?
Oh, yeah.
I heard something, but I didn't.
Yeah, I was going to go to that the other day, but the baby was sick and stuff. And
You were actually going to go to the meeting?
Yeah.
And watch a bunch of...
Yeah, because I figured there'd be a bunch of fucking shithead hillbillies, being assholes and stuff. So I'm like...
Sounds like that's what there were.
Why wouldn't I
So
go,
what? Give me a little.
So
I speak,
background.
I speak shithead. I speak fluent shithead hillbilly,
The
so
superintendent
sometimes I can
has been
diffuse things.
proactive about having inclusion in their school for pretty much anyone that's not usually included in stuff. So like gays, lesbians, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And everyone apparently a large group of people in the town are having an issue with that and would like the superintendent fired because they don't want to be doing inclusion stuff for people.
He put out the truth is you don't, whenever you commit something to video. Fuck. Yeah, but he put a video out that said basically, that Pequot Lake schools, they really want to try to be inclusive and they want to try not, they want to try to, stamp out bullying and in that he really pissed off some fucking rednecks apparently. And they were like, we need to get rid of this fucking guy because God damn it, it's our right to hate black people and them homosexuals. And it's like it's really pretty fucking wacky.
Yeah, it's another one of those things like you just like the school board shit here in Brainerd, boy, our fucking area.
Right, but I was like, this is what I would want on our school board in Brainerd is somebody trying to be a little.
And this guy hey,
I tried
sorry.
to find the actual video and I couldn't find it. Like apparently it didn't. Well, I can't find it, but I read the transcript from it, and I mean he didn't say anything that could even roughly be like construed as fucking wackadoodle.
Nope, I thought it seriously was like we don't want people to bully people about anything. We are inclusive of everyone, no matter what, whatever you are, whoever you are, like we just want everyone to feel comfortable here. The end. And the fact
he
that
did say
people have
something to the
problems with
extent
that
of,
is,
and we have had issues with people not being inclusive in the past, and we want to try to like rectify that. Okay,
right?
What? Yeah. Fuck you.
We want everyone to feel okay coming to school. No. No.
Get a rope. It seems pretty fucking bizarre.
Trying to drag these fucking people into the 21st century.
But I figured we could just do a switch with him. With Kern, we could maybe switch Kern up.
She's not on the school board anymore.
Yeah, we could probably recruit her. Maybe
actually, our school board's pretty.
We could give them Kern as a superintendent, and we'll just take Chris as like whatever.
But how's the guy? Like, how's the superintendent like now here in Brainerd? Is he?
It's a female.
Gotcha.
What?
Our superintendent
we
here
don't approve of that neither.
Is Lane Larson.
Get a rope.
She actually just won an award. I don't know. I think she's pretty good.
That can't be possible.
I've liked having a female superintendent.
I'm just kidding. Jesus Christ.
I really like that our high school
Everybody
has a female.
knows teaching's women's work.
Well, that's because women are better, a more superior species.
But yeah, so I saw that stuff, and I was kind of disheartened. I read an article, and I couldn't tell if because I know the girl that they talked to in the article. Apparently, she like made the video or something. And and it sounded like. What she told when she talked to the paper, it sounded kind of wishy-washy. Like I couldn't tell if she was like an actual detractor or not. She's actually she was a ring girl back in the day, who went to Pequot, and that school has been a really good. It's been a fucking good school for a long time. Yeah. That's what like both my kids graduated from Pequot. Mm-hmm. That's the schools. The school is what brought us there.
I think it's a great school.
But we've got the resurgence of that hillbilly asshole.
Yeah, what could have sparked that? Like, it seems like it's been in the last few years that something
like 5 years or so, maybe 4 years.
A little over 4.
Where the white supremacists are emboldened, and but it's on the upside. The more rural, white guys that you talk to, the more you find out that they really feel like at least racism and stuff isn't a big deal.
Right.
So we've got that going for us. That's a plus. So
that's true.
Yeah, they don't want anybody to be treated special. Why should they be treated special?
Right, black privilege.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that happened.
Yeah, at least it didn't make.
I didn't go to the meeting.
At least it didn't make national news. It seems like this area only makes national news when it does something really fucking.
You mean
stupid.
like how we're back in like the number 3 spot for
I
the
thought it was
United
7th.
States? I don't know.
I think
I
we're.
actually
for
don't know
COVID.
what the
I think we're number
percentage is.
7th
I'm
in
just
COVID.
saying, go
Really?
Brainerd.
Yeah, Crow Wing County.
Like
is.
out of the United States, we made the New York Times. They were like, "Hey, Brainerd Lakes area."
What's number 1? Like,
I don't
where's
know.
the?
Yeah.
I'd be
I didn't read the
We
article.
don't. Come on, we're from Brainerd. We don't read the New York Times.
Yeah. Besides, we only care about what goes on here.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, look, we're number 7. That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
High five.
We've been number 1 a lot. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, and it does seem really weird that the numbers are still so high in this area because almost everybody, I wouldn't say almost everybody, but a very large percentage of people that I know have already been vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you need to come on my Facebook newsfeed and talk about that because you'll find the people that fucking aren't.
Oh, I said the same thing about mine. I was like, well, I could tell you the demographic of people who are not vaccinated.
Yeah, because their mother and father are usually brother and sister and fucking, all those happy things.
I was talking to my mom this morning, and she'd mentioned that with the Pfizer, that now they're saying there might be a 3rd vaccine. Did you guys hear that? She lives in
Like
Boston.
a 3rd shot?
Yeah, she lives in Boston, so I don't know if like news trickles.
Oh, I got the Moderna.
She said that the Pfizer is going to need
Another booster.
In
It's
6
it's
months.
very likely that there's we're gonna have to have a yearly vaccine like the flu shot.
I don't
going
want
up.
another shot. I got sick.
Well,
You got
at least
a
you guys
little
didn't get the
bit
Johnson
sick.
and Johnson one because
You
they're
got a
pulling
little
that
bit
right
sick
off
on
the
your
shelves.
second.
It was fine.
scary.
It was like I had the shakes, I had the chills, just fucking momentarily, really, and then I was achy and stuff. Big fucking deal. It was basically
Momentarily.
like having a fucking hangover.
Mine was worse than that, but I already had COVID, so I had the antibodies, so it fucks you up a little bit more, but even so, still well worth it, and it's nice to feel safe and to be like. And I already felt pretty safe after I had COVID because I was like, it's unlikely I'm going to get it again.
I'm still keeping my eyes up for these studies on like whether or not you can transmit it and shit like that. Like,
So that was what I had said because he was like, well, I could get together with all these people because they've all had the vaccine. And I was like, well, that's great, but you
Well,
don't
CDC
know, but you
says-
don't know who they've been around. And that doesn't mean you still couldn't carry something
CDC
home to
says-
somebody else.
The DC says that any you can have a gathering of any amount of vaccinated.
But they don't
people.
know. This is
They are
new.
the CDC.
That doesn't mean
Not
anything.
to say that the CDC hasn't fucked shit up already. They
Right.
definitely have their recommendation about masks, not wearing masks in the beginning, and then changing their mind and saying everybody needs to.
And now you
wear
should
masks.
double up on masks and make them
They
tighter.
haven't actually said that. Fauci said that. The CDC's never came out and said that you want to double up on masks. But I was like, are you seriously trying to kill me? Because I can't see if
I'm going to go out right now and say triple down on masks.
I was going to say,
Now
I
what?
feel like that's kind of like when some guys in high school would be like, if you just put 2 condoms on. No, honey, that's not how this works.
What is a condom?
Would you go longer? Right? Isn't
I
that
don't
the
know.
idea? I don't know. I never worn one. Just kidding. All right. Let's take a quick break. I got to pee. Good time?
A lot of angry girls when they discover those fucking those Ramen pouches. Thought you said you had a rubber. Yeah, turns out
It's
that was not a
ramen.
rubber.
I thought we were going to have some
But you,
My bad.
pasta.
but yeah. You do taste a little like chicken.
I had beef too. Like I forgot to go with chicken to be respectful.
But we're not gonna use that shrimp one because that's fucking gross.
Where's my box?
That hot lime shrimp. Just don't do that. All right, we'll be right back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Look What Men About Now.
Alcohol-free alcohol.
For the
De-alcohol.
sober
De-alcoholized.
curious.
It's
This is for the sober curious people.
de-alcoholized
Alcohol.
alcohol. It's good.
Yeah, it's not gonna make me sober. Oh, I could put a little vodka in this. Wouldn't be bad. It's not bad.
It's
No,
okay.
I
I
think
think it tastes good.
Yeah, me too.
I just want
They
to know
said
how
that's
they.
a Chardonnay.
I want to know how
Tastes
they.
more like a Pinot Grigio, actually. But
You think?
Well,
yeah, it's a little sweeter than a Chardonnay. I mean, I don't know.
Pinot
Hey,
Grigio isn't that
how
more?
long ago has it been since you drank?
Only 4 years, but I have drank my fair share of wine to know. I think this tastes like Chardonnay.
I don't think so. It's not dry enough. It's got too. It's too sweet, and it's a little bit effervescent.
Chardonnay is sweet. Pinot Grigio is more dry.
No, you are wrong.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, Pinot Grigio is definitely a little sweeter.
Really?
And then like Riesling is really sweet.
Really,
and then-
really sweet. But I thought maybe I had it backwards.
Yeah. And then
It has been 4
Chardonnay
years.
is the driest.
No, I
Sweetheart.
I think I'm right.
You are not right.
I have no idea.
Shelley,
Active alcoholic.
settle the Pinot
Non-active
Grigio
alcohol.
debate.
I'm a de-alcoholized.
You are de-alcoholized. Yeah.
this
It's not
ma-
bad though.
I
This
would like
makes
to-
me want to eat at a farm with you guys.
Oh yeah.
What's
What is
this?
this?
I haven't gotten a concussion in forever.
I want to go back to farm.
It's
to
a
fork to
potato.
It was a tomato.
Oh, it was a tomato.
That one I am right on.
fork. It was weird.
So you guys don't know what we're talking about. We for 2 years now we've gone to the farm to fork dinner at the farm at St. Matthias, and the first year that we went was
It was an epic
fucking
year.
shit show. And that was right after we first started doing the podcast.
And if they're gonna if they're gonna do, if they're gonna make the drinking like reasonable and restrained and stuff like they did this last year, we're gonna need to bring flasks
Right.
because I
Because
feel like we did it right the first
The
time.
first year they were drinking everyone's drinks,
So well,
including
the first,
the 40
first
drinks
year
that you got
was-
with each part of
so,
your meal.
So it's a 5-course meal, and then the 2 years ago they did a paired it with a beer,
A wine,
and
and
a
a
cocktail.
cocktail, yeah.
And
And they weren't like mini beer,
No, they were
wines, and
full
cocktails. Yeah.
I can't remember.
And Kyle was drinking for 2.
Yeah.
And plus, they were pre-drinking before we sat down to eat. So
by the end of the night, I had a concussion.
Matt was making out with Seth Dowd.
Yeah, he's cute.
I didn't catch you. I should have spun.
Actually,
I had abandoned ship by that time.
yeah, it was a rough one. And then the next day was the
Oh my
walk-
gosh!
yeah.
It was an amazing day. They had
walk
this
a mile
team
in her shoes.
where they were going to wear high heels. Guess what? Kyle showed up. He was there. His whole crew from Zorba's. Those boys looking great. Their calves looked amazing.
I got out of bed at 3
heels.
o'clock that afternoon. But I mean, I seriously did have a concussion. I mean, it was in pretty rough shape. Fucking A. Yeah.
Oh, you
'cause
fell
I-
on your head so
Well, yeah, because I tried to
hard.
jump to guard on
More than
Kyle
us.
in the bar, and then I racked my head on the bar or on the ground, and I was pissed off that I missed, and I was like, gotta have a do-over.
I
And
have
then-
that footage somewhere in this phone.
We will not be showing that at the end of this.
You never know.
Yeah, so it was fun. So yeah, that would be fun. We're gonna have to do that again this year if they
Indeed.
do it this year. So the farm has really been evolving in the last few years, but now Bob is retired, and with the COVID-19, they didn't do any of the they didn't do the corn maze or anything, last summer, and they're really trying to decide what they want to do this summer, if they even really want to continue to do all the events that they do. But I would think they'll probably still do the farm to fork because that's a pretty fun one that they.
Lost
have
my
anyone-
keys.
I mean, it was the 10th, 11th year anniversary.
The keys. We were looking for those keys,
You know,
and then
we're-
weren't they like just sitting on a table or?
They were sitting right up by the bar on the rail.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you lost your keys?
You don't remember that?
You lose your fucking
We were
keys
looking everywhere
all
for those.
the time.
And she had them in her hand.
That's why I
and,
have 2 sets of them.
like 5 seconds later, she's like, my keys are gone. I mean, she had just had them in her hand, and
It's
then the
just a
whole place
constant.
was looking
What about
for
the
her
little
keys.
tracking things that
I
you
have
can
one of
get?
those. I just never put it on.
I have one of those on my drone that I bought. So I have a real talent for buying shit that's very expensive right before it gets really cheap. Right? Like I bought the iPhone 1 the week before the iPhone 2 came out. You know, and then I'm like, ugh. But I bought a drone. Fuck, it's probably been 5 years ago now. And when I bought it, it was like the bomb diggity. And now it literally is a piece of shit.
That tells you how long ago it was, because it was the bomb diggity.
Was the bomb diggity. Like, that's still actually a cool thing to say.
I don't know.
for shizzle
I
my
don't
dizzle.
think it was ever a cool thing.
Full shizzle my dizzle.
It's all right. You covered up for it by saying literally.
Literally.
So that just wipes the slate clean.
Literally. I only say that because of Parks and Rec.
Fucking.
When I used to watch Parks and Rec, every time Rob Lowe would say literally, then we'd have to drink, and we'd get pretty hammered during Parks and Rec. Keep saying it a lot. But anyway, so I bought this fucking drone for way too much money, and then I was flying it out at the farm, and I fucking ran it into a tree, and I couldn't find it. And I mean, I just bought it, and it was really expensive. So we searched and searched and searched, and finally we found it. And so then I'm like, I'm gonna get this fucking tracker and put it on there so that I can like find it with my phone. And I think I've flown the drone twice since then.
Oh, no.
Right? Like, but I've used the tracker to find my phone like 50 times. So like if I can't find my phone, I'll go dig out the drone, hit the tracker, and my phone will start ringing. And so yeah, so it's kind of cool.
Nice.
But it does. The nice thing is it like it doesn't just ring. It like makes like this loud as your phone can possibly go, like beeping sound that you like.
I need one of those. I lose my phone every day.
Fucking.
Yeah.
At least.
So you, if you get one, you have one on your phone. You have it on your. Well, you don't actually. You have an app on your phone, and then on your key, you have it on your keys. Let's say. So you have to be able to find one or the other, right? But if you can find your keys, then you can find your phone. If you can find your phone, then you can find your keys. So,
Nice.
or you could just put your keys in the same place every time, and then you wouldn't lose them. Another idea.
I
Just
can never get my keys in the bowl on the counter.
hashtag life hack.
He's constantly, where are the keys? And I'm like, oh, you know, if you knew how much shit I came in with every day when I come home, no matter where I go, I'm picking things up on the marketplace, going to Goodwill. I mean, I
But see,
don't know.
that's why like
Keys
you
are
get
somewhere.
home and you like put the stuff that you've got with you like where it goes,
I drop just everything.
and you know.
Yeah, not me. I lose things.
Meta can't ever find her keys either. So
They're both in my purse right now. Both sets.
almost every time we are going to go out to dinner, like we're late because we can't find the keys. But you know, what
I
do you
have
do?
this like
I know where my keys are.
I have anxiety that Kyle's gonna be mad at me because I can never. I mean, I lose them, and we only have one key per vehicle, so it's like if it's lost, I don't have a backup.
Okay,
so.
that's
And I fly into
just bad training.
and I fly into rages.
That's just bad.
You guys should each have your own key.
He does not.
It's really bad.
I just don't like to disappoint
only
you.
have one key per vehicle though. Like,
Well, we've made it this
go
far.
get it. Yeah.
And
You say that now.
better
Knock on
knock
some wood.
on some fucking wood.
Yeah.
and we have one key for each vehicle. Like,
That's what I just said, silly.
oh,
That's what we're talking about.
Yes, you should have more than one key for each vehicle.
okay.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
just-
what-
I was like, "What? Is this the punchline?"
When my
Dun,
my dad, I don't know, I'm gonna talk about him a lot
That's really
later,
funny.
but he was very like anal about making multiple copies of keys, and then so I would always have a copy of all of his keys, and he'd copy of my keys. That's why he was able to bring me the extra key for the Astra van that I didn't actually lock myself out of. And then when he was starting to slip pretty bad, like we were getting ready for him to get into a group home or whatever, and then once he went into the group home, he had to go in and kind of clean out his house and shit. And that's when I realized, I mean, I already knew
he had like
was
40,000
losing it.
sets of keys.
Holy shit! Like literally, I'm guessing about 60 sets of keys for his car. They were everywhere. Yep. Because so he would lose his key. I'm assuming he would find a key, then he'd go to Ace Hardware and he'd get another key made so that he had his backup, and then he would lose that, and it was just like so he had literally 70 sets of keys.
No,
for
if
his
it was
car.
that easy, I would do that.
You got to
However,
go in and get a chip.
Yeah,
key
it's
or
very-
whatever.
Go to Amazon.
It's very expensive.
Nope, go to Amazon. You can look up your vehicle. Get the one with. It'll say, do you want one with the chip or the whatever in it or not? And like $27, and then any of the places can do it for you.
Can cut it for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, it like your vehicles. There are a few vehicles that are like a really hard, like a Mini Cooper. Those are like really difficult because they're like have like a puck. You actually have to get the puck, and that's like very difficult. But if it's just a regular key fob, one that has a key, you can just buy it on Amazon. And, But if you go into
Just
the
make
dealer,
sure that
they'll
it has
charge you
that thing.
$150.
Yeah. Don't
but-
go through. Never go through a dealer for anything.
Okay. Good. Well,
Yeah,
guess we
I
can get
tried
keys
to,
now.
but like, where I was going to get one made for the Pilot,
And then it would only open your door.
well, they've like, man, I don't want to talk shit because like eventually like I did get some phone calls from them, but they're like, oh, we'll have to have so and so call you.
Oh.
Never called me. Like a couple of people that I know that worked there called me, and I'm like, that was weird, you know. Like anyway, but
But was it expensive to get one for the Pilot?
I never found that out. I mean,
Oh.
I was
I
I was expecting it to be
$150,
expensive, but
You know what's
just
really
the whole
fucking
like
expensive?
putting me on like the pay no mind shit. Like
Having to
I'm
replace your
weird
whole
about
key thing.
I haven't. Well, so in my Chevy Love, my 1980 Chevy Love, I lost the key. And I only had one key for it. And I mean, you can't just go get one made. You know what I mean? And like, if you have title to the car, typically they can look up the VIN number and they can actually like make you a replacement key, right? But it's a 1980 Chevy Love. I mean, they were like
Speaking
no,
of the 1980 Chevy Love, look forward to Spitballers giving
homie
it
hasn't,
away.
Homie hasn't like committed to that
Nope,
yet.
giving it away.
don't
Right now,
think
it's sitting in a field. It's really cute. I would take it. I'd write a story about loving the love.
Okay, shut your fucking mouth. But I.
Who wants it?
So I could not. I had lost the key, and so I had to like get a locksmith. I had to bring him the key thing and have him
ignition?
like actually make a new key for it.
Wouldn't
And
you
That
just
would
get
be
a whole
super
new
expensive.
ignition?
can't do it.
Because it's
You like there is not a single part. You can't like order a part for this vehicle. Like
Got it.
I could.
I don't think
have
Kyle
found
could fit in the
another-
vehicle.
I don't think so either. In the back.
we should try and squeeze them in.
That would
it
be
would be
fun.
funny.
they were those things are not roomy. Nathan's mom
it's
had
the
one,
tiniest. It's the
and we used to
tiniest
fucking
fucking-
cruise
It's
around that
super
when
cute.
we had to cram ourselves in there when we were like
you,
in high school.
you and Nathan would be hilarious. We should put you in it now. Like
Christine, it could be your go-getter to get stuff. It does have a roomy back area to hold things.
What could I fit in it? Like for real?
It's a truck.
It's a regular pickup truck. It's just tiny.
It's a
It's
tiny
a tiny
It's
cab.
super cute. You'd look really cute driving it, though.
It's basically like a Chevy S10. It's like a little. It's a tiny, but the cab size.
I was
is
going to
what-
say, but the cab is big enough to fit.
But yeah,
Well, and
I haven't
like was it
committed.
was a stick, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So was Jan's, and like, and then of course being teenagers, sometimes we'd cram like 4 of us in there.
Oh my
So it was
God.
right in between
and then,
your legs?
Yeah, and then you're fucking shifting, and you're like crack, fucking, you know, my knee, that dude's knee, like fucking, we're all keeled over in pain.
It's super fun though because it's 4-wheel drive and it's tiny and you can fly around in it. But yeah,
It's cute.
I gotta get that fucking thing. Over.
Those were the days.
What were we
Christine,
talking
you
about
can write
before?
a letter about how much you love the love. And the
But it's
ballers are
really
going to give it
difficult.
away.
like yeah. I was like talking to the locksmith guy about like how do you even do it? And he's like, it's kind of a trick. Like you gotta like make a form and there's a whole bunch of shit you gotta do to make a key for that. So yeah, crazy.
Do you know where the key is?
Yeah, I have 6 of them. They're hidden in various locations. Yeah.
Strategically
Yeah.
positioned.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, once I had a master key, then it was just super easy to make more, but yeah. Let's see. Do you have anything on your list, Kyle?
You know, I just wanted to give a little shout out. I found a YouTube channel called The Audit. And it was kind of a cool project. This guy like evaluates and grades people's interactions with the police. And and sometimes there's a lot of episodes. There's a lot of them where where like the particular cop is an asshole. There's also like the one that I watched this morning where the person that the cop is dealing with is definitely an asshole and really ill-informed and
like the guy from fucking the mayor of Nisswa.
Shit like exactly. That would have made
two cops that are just completely reasonable and like understanding and acting completely appropriately, and one fucking asshole.
I
who
should
came
send
who had
that
nothing
in.
to do with it.
Right?
You should send that in.
I'll bet he'd use that because he goes into like he evaluates them based on like constitutionality, like national, local statutes and shit like that. Even like take stuff like from other state, like you've mentioned laws from other states and stuff. That's I think that's where I initially found. No, that's not the video that I sent you. I mean, the video. Yeah, it is the video that I sent you.
Where the cop shot the mom.
Yeah. But the one that I sent you is not
Don't make
from.
me laugh.
Dude, that shit was fucked up. I mean, because like when I started watching that one, I'm like, did she just shoot the floor? And then like she shoots a couple more times, and then pretty soon like why is the mom on the couch like that? Like this old lady is fucking
so
just bleeding
horrible.
out.
Where do you
It's just
find
hilarious.
these? Where do you what made you look for audit of an audit, or
Oh,
how did you even
just
get down that?
from other stuff that from other videos that I've watched and stuff.
Do they predict or
And,
give you suggestions?
And people send him videos from all over the place, from all over the country. And they're really interesting. Because like the first one that I ever saw was a cop that shot a guy outside a church, and the guy was like running away. The guy had like made some threats and stuff, like said that he was going to kill a cop or whatever. It was basically he was like running his mouth. He was talking shit. Turns out the guy didn't actually have a gun. And he was like running away, and the cop was shooting like from a pretty significant distance. I think what was it, like approximately 50 yards at one point.
Oh, Jesus.
And
Was he zigzagging?
and the guy, and on the other side of the guy was a church. So he was like shooting at the guy who was standing in front of a church, and like obviously that officer did not receive a very high grade on that.
Like a C-.
Right?
Yeah.
He didn't say cool enough shit. Like he didn't have a cool tagline or anything like that. There was no like Dirty Harry shit. You feel lucky, punk. None of that. But and then I started watching more and finally got found one, other ones, because I wasn't just gonna watch it. Like if it was just like tearing down cops, like, oh great, like another fucking like cops are all bad, whatever. But when I saw that he had ones on both ends of the spectrum and everything in between, I dug it. The guy really does his fucking homework.
Yeah.
Audit the audit.
Audit the audit. Okay.
But yeah, so like that's where I found that where I first found that video that I sent you. And then I looked at other like news agencies that picked it up and stuff like that. And I think I sent you one of those. I don't think I sent you the actual audit the audit one. But yeah, audit the audit. It is fucking great. Really cool.
Christine, you're supposed to talk over him and tell him about what you just found out.
So on the break, I grabbed my phone and I didn't have time to throw it back. So it was sitting here and I knew what he was talking about. So I'm like, I'm going to Google Chardonnay and Pinot Grigio. So I was wrong.
Oh, I knew that.
I know. But the fact that I admitted it is,
Mighty big of you.
We don't fact check here, honey.
well, I just
Oh,
did.
Shelley does.
Yeah.
She would have put in the comments that I was. I'm sure of it.
We were rewatching
I
a couple
work
of
at a
months ago
bar. I
our
serve-
videos when like Kyle was in the bathroom and sent us, or like you sent us a picture of Kyle in the bathroom, and like we were taking a picture. And do you remember that, the little video clips we were sending them?
That was when we were inviting them to go to the farm the first time.
Right, but we were like reminiscing one night about that, and we were like, "Oh, we should really start sending them random videos again."
It's a hilarious video because
They were so funny.
Meta and I was drunk, but we were talking about.
I wasn't.
We're like, let's invite Kyle and Christine to that thing. So I'm like, hey guys, you should come to this party, whatever.
And we're
then,
like in bed.
And then Christine, I think did you send a video back? I can't remember if you did.
I thought it was of
Or
Kyle
maybe
pooping or
but
something.
Then, no, Kyle just comes home. He came home from
and
work,
he's like,
and he
Christine.
says, I'm gonna have to consult this Christine person you referenced. And it was just the video. I've watched it 1,000
It's
times.
so
It cracked
funny.
me up. Meta and Matt. It was just really great.
It was funny.
Yeah.
And then I think Christine finally, like 3 days later, came on and said something like in the car. She was like probably picking something up.
Oh yeah,
from
you
somewhere.
did your return video. That's right. Yeah, it was in the car. That was funny.
Yeah.
Yes, I was definitely right about the Chardonnay. But I mean, I work at a bar, and so
I
like
know. And
I serve.
Why would I argue you working in a bar? Yeah.
It's fun to argue with
It's
him.
not a bar that serves a lot of wine, but I know it. But I was at the bar last Saturday, and I wanted to tell you guys a story because it really cracked me up. A couple of my favorite customers, Steve and Deb, they were the ones who like originally turned us on to Resident Alien. And they're just cool in there. I'm always asking them about their shows or whatever. And Steve's well, they're both very interesting, but I want to have Steve on some point because he had a pretty bad accident lighting fireworks a couple of years ago, and he wears an eye patch now. And I don't want to get too much into his story, but he still has an eye, and he may eventually get his sight back. But pretty fucking horrific story.
Would it be
pretty cool.
uncouth if we all wore eye patches? on
Well,
that
Matt could
episode?
make you
I
one.
made him an eye patch actually.
It's pretty cool.
Because I was like, oh, that eye patch isn't very good. I'll make you a really cool one. So I made him a leather eye patch, and yeah, that's kind of cool. But I just really enjoy these guys, and they were sitting in there last Saturday, and this other guy came in and sat down next to Steve, and he's like, how's it going, man? And Steve goes, it's all right. I had to put my dog down today. He goes, oh, I'm sorry. Steve goes, well, he wasn't sick or nothing. I just got a little sick of him. And the fucking entire, like, there's like 5 people standing around. They all like look at him. And the guy's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And Steve goes, I'm just kidding, man.
Well, turns out he shed. He shed all over. So
But
he had to die.
It fucking, I laughed really hard because it was just, and plus the delivery was super great because he let it sit for like long enough where people are
You
like,
gotta let it marinate.
because after, if you would have been like, I'm just kidding, but like, no, he let it marinate, and yeah, and they were like, what are you a fucking Nazi? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? And he's like, he wasn't sick or nothing. I just got a little tired of him. But then later in the night, there was another guy who came in, and I'm not gonna say who he is, but he came in with a bunch of guys, and he bought up 15 shots, and I'm fucking crazy busy at this time. I was working by myself. Both Rob and Aaron were out of town, and I thought I could handle it. I did handle it, but Jesus Christ, I was running my ass off. It's really busy. And somebody orders 15 shots. I mean, Jesus, it takes some time, and I get it, whatever.
What was the shot?
They were just Chuck Norris's, easy to make, but
Well, at
not
least it was
actually
like
that easy.
at least it wasn't like 3 Chuck Norrises,
Right.
40 eye bombs.
I would have told them to fuck themselves at that point.
Yeah.
I'd have been, like, you get 15 in the same shot, And actually, Chuck Norris's are not hard to make, but they're not the easiest thing to make because they're a bomb shot. So you got to pour the one in the middle, and then you got to pour the shit out the outside. And it takes some. It's not like pouring shots of gag or whatever. It takes nothing. Anyway, so then I told him what his total is, and he tries to pay with credit card, and we don't take credit cards at the bar. Almost nobody downtown takes credit cards, cash only, whatever, which drives me crazy, honestly. But anyway, I'm like, well, the ATM's over there. Okay, so we're balls to butts. I mean, we're obviously respecting all social distancing,
6
COVID rules,
But
but I'm busy, and this guy is trying to get money out of the ATM and whatever, and he's having a really hard time figuring it out. And he comes over to me and he's like, dude, I don't know, but I can't get any money out of the ATM. And I was like, well, all right, I can write you down. You can come back and pay Rob. I mean, whatever, sucks, but it is what it is. And he's like, well, can you help me? And I was like, no, fucking A, dude. Like, look at me.
I'm your friendly bartender. Fuck you.
Right. Look, I got pits, dude. I am working my ass off here. But there was this other kid sitting at the end of the bar right in front of the ATM, and he was drinking Pepsi. He was designated driver. And I said, hey, that's my buddy. I just met him. But I was like, he's an ATM expert, so he's going to help you out. Right, buddy? And he goes, oh, okay. So he goes over there. The guy had been continuing trying to get money out of the ATM. And then it told him that
he had exceeded his daily limit.
And he had $400 in the ATM, just sitting in the ATM.
It had come out every time, but he didn't realize the money had come out.
He didn't know where the slot was. And then he's like, I found the money. It was so fucking funny. And
that'll cover it. Give it air.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Yeah. So I didn't know that kid very well, but I knew his brother. And I trained with him. So I couldn't wait to get to jiu-jitsu and be like, you know what your broken brother did last night on Saturday? It's pretty funny. But yeah, it was a fun night. Fun night by all.
What happens at 9th Street stays at 9th Street.
Unless you do something fucking super stupid, then I'm putting it on spitballing. All is fair. All is fair. Oh. And that's not even a rule.
But you know what is a rule? Speaking of the bar, when the bartender's super busy, like if the bar is like a couple of people deep, don't get cute with your fucking shots.
Actually, you know what? I would love to like do a class on how to fucking like order from a bar. But okay, if a bar's super busy and you get called on from the bartender,
know what you want.
Know what the fuck you want. That's all. Because if you say, what do you got? What's good?
Why are you?
What do you have
up
on
to the bar if you
fuck
don't
you.
know
Next
what
guy.
want?
Next guy.
Yeah.
You're just next guy. Because I don't have time. Nobody has time. Now, if you want your bartender to begin creative with you when it's not busy, they love doing that. They love being creative with you, but they don't want to fuck with it when they're balls to butts. So, yeah. So know what the fuck you want, and then have your goddamn money out. The fuck is wrong with you? They don't want to start you a goddamn tab when there's 85 people in a bar. Wait, that's never happened there in the last year. But yeah, like it's just, yeah, that's a very tough one to, yeah. And then bartenders get a little fucking crabby when you hack on them. So cut them a little slack.
Yeah, learn how to be a fucking customer.
Yeah.
You know, people run into these fucking, like, people run into problems, and I think I'm guessing it's always the same people that have the same kind of fucking problems. Actually, I just know, I know this from bouncing for so long, because like groups of guys will come in, and fucking, guess who gets thrown out? Same guy that gets thrown out every fucking time those guys get together.
Right.
And then they fucking tell you, because they're like, hey, sorry about our fucking dipshit friend. He gets thrown out every fucking time we go out, And you're like, sounds like somebody I'd want to hang out with, but it's.
I used to get thrown out all the time out of Tropical Nights.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Me and Shanna Lane and the rest of the lady crew.
What did you do to get thrown out? Is that an okay question?
Apparently start fights with, I didn't start, like our group of people.
I have a very hard time believing that you didn't start fights.
It was fun. Do you know who Shanna Lane is?
I don't, well, I don't know if I do, but
every weekend they would welcome us back with open arms and like, ladies, you're back. And I'd be like, we don't know for how long, but who wants to make out in the bathroom?
It's early in the night. You can, yeah.
Trop.
I've never been thrown out of any bar but my own.
I've never been thrown out of anything.
I've been thrown out of a few bars.
I almost got thrown out of a bar with Tharg in St. Cloud one time because we were down.
You mean the strip club?
No, it was a bar. It was the Dunkin' whatever it's called. I can't remember.
Dunkin' Donuts,
No,
not a bar. But I would like it.
No wonder they got thrown out.
DB Searles.
Oh, gotcha.
So I was down there, and there was a musician playing, and he was pretty good, and he's playing cover songs, and I was probably a little drunk. I don't know if I was drunk or not, but I was like, hey, dude, play your original songs. And he's like, I'm a cover guy, dude. And I'm like, it's bullshit. You wrote one. I fucking know you did, right? And he's like, okay, this is one original song I wrote when I was 14 years old. And it was super fucking good. It was super cute about, I don't remember.
Exactly.
But it was about like pre-pubescent teenage love kind of bullshit. And it was cute. And I thought it was great, clapping, whatever. And then he played something John Cougar Mellencamp. And then I was like, play another original. And then yeah, then the bouncers came over and said, you need to. But I did. I mellowed out. I mean, just comply.
You know.
Like when the bouncers come over and they say, you're going to have to shut the fuck up or get the fuck out. It's time to shut the fuck up or get the fuck out. Because you know how many bouncers it takes to get me out of a bar? One. Typically.
What the fuck was that? I don't know how many it was going to take to kick my. I don't know how many of them was going to take to throw me out, but I know how many they were going to use. What the fuck was that guy's name? Ron White or something like that?
Oh, yeah, Ron Waite. Yeah. Huh. Cool. Well, speaking of Ron's, do we have anything else?
No, I don't think so.
You guys want to talk about? Okay. Well, then speaking of Ron's, did you?
I think at the end of the podcast you should put Christine's like a link to what did you call them? The Savage Sisters.
Sexy Sisters.
I know what it's called, but like I liked all that.
Savage Sexy Sisters is even better. SSS.
Yeah.
Triple
That'd be
S.
awesome.
Well, that's better than the SS.
Right?
Don't call it the SS. That's
Depends
not
on who you talk to.
Actually, in my phone, it's SS.
Many
When
fine people on both sides.
I got to bring this to SS. Salvage
Why? What does that
Sisters.
mean?
the SS. It's like the Nazi
Oh.
stormtroopers. I actually don't even know what it stands for.
I was gonna say okay, like I think you're just
Do
making
you?
stuff up.
Do you know
but-
what SS?
I don't know
SS
what
stands
that
for?
stands
Okay, don't use SS. Why not? I don't know. Okay, cool. That's great. Thank you. We've learned so much today. Christine, this is why we take it over and
What the
we're
fuck
not
does
guests.
SS stand for?
It doesn't
it's
matter.
definitely for.
She's gonna.
It's
Savage
definitely.
Sisters.
It's definitely the Nazi.
Well, it's
like
because
the,
it's fucking German. And we
You mean
don't
like
speak German.
USSR?
Oh,
Oh, I
it's
don't
a really
speak.
good point.
It's an abbreviation of
It's too.
Schutzenstaffel.
It's two German words.
What does that mean?
We're so fucking dumb, Kyle.
The black uniformed elite corps
Yeah.
and self-described political soldiers of the
Yeah,
Nazi party.
Yeah, it's the jackboot Nazi thugs. But like, I was like, seriously, like,
Yeah.
how is it that I don't know what SS stands for? Oh, because it's in fucking German. It's two German words.
Well, yeah, but we should still know.
That's
Well,
the
I'm still
difference.
surprised
maybe.
that we don't know. that.
It looks like lightning bolts.
Yeah, it's the lightning bolts. They're scary. We don't want those guys.
Okay.
So
But I
I
think
think
you
Sexy
should-
Savage Sisters is a lot better.
Okay.
I always just think
Christine
Savage
sells
Sisters.
her stuff at the Sexy Savage Sisters. Located
And
in.
we'll put a link to it in the show notes. That's like 50.
The stuff is cool.
Yeah.
And if you like it, you should probably go in.
It's
Because
cool.
it doesn't stay.
Doesn't stay
A lot
very
of fun
long.
projects.
Yeah, I mean, I can bring a piece in, and granted, some stuff sits for time, but I mean, you can be bringing stuff in, and people see you unloading it, and they buy it.
They're like,
right
I would
then and
like
there.
that.
Yeah, if you're there at the right time, you can get some good stuff.
Yeah.
But you got to keep going. You can't just go once and be like, yes,
Right.
I've seen that place, because it is different every day. And so, yeah.
Every goddamn day.
And Kyle was only one-shouldered, hauling all that stuff around. Who the hell's phone is that?
It's mine. It's my alarm to pick
Control your phone. Okay, well, we got to wrap up anyway. Okay, but speaking of Ron's, Ron Barons listened to our podcast last time when we were with Chode, and he and I we were talking about the song that he did on his Facebook that I couldn't find or whatever.
Yeah.
And he sent me a link to it, so we're gonna make it our takeout song today, and we might just make it a standard because it is pretty sweet ass.
Dude,
So-
fucking
Is he
great.
singing?
Yeah, playing and singing. It's a blues song. What's it called? I can't remember the name of it.
It's Cakewalk.
Cakewalk,
by
yeah.
the great Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
wasn't
Taj
really
Mahal.
that familiar with the song, but I loved it. I loved what he played. So
That's fucking wonderful.
Yeah.
And like the first time I heard it, it was in an old ass Denzel Washington movie, The Mighty Quinn.
I liked that movie. That's a
Fuck
long
yeah.
fucking time ago.
Fuck yeah. Like, hey, if Denzel is like in his like 20s in that show, well, might be a fucking old show.
He's definitely a hit and miss actor, man. Either his movie's really good or
I liked most of his
really
stuff.
bad.
Most, yeah. But I mean, he's been in some shit. But I mean, it's hard to find an actor that doesn't show up in some real turds. You know, fuck.
I think we should do a dinner party where people pay to come eat with us.
Yeah.
We could charge
Be a
him
good time.
bunch.
It would be so fun, and then we can record it.
With mics.
Just audio recording.
When we went to that last one, we recorded it, but it was the audio quality was so shitty.
But it was
Did you
still-
listen to it
But
back?
we
did
listened
for
to
like
it for
a couple of hours, and it was
we were
freaking
laughing our asses off.
hilarious.
But you had to I mean, it wouldn't have been fun
like
for anybody else.
it would
to
be
listen
funny
to.
for you guys.
Context.
Like you guys would think it's funny. I mean, I assume everyone would think we're hilarious, but
Well, we are.
It's true.
What is this I need?
Did we ever explain that? Because I think we got off on a
it's
tangent.
a tomato.
Seems to be.
Kyle didn't know that the little reddy orange thing was it looked like a tomato.
It was round like a tomato, and he pulled it up on his fork to the table. What is
That's
this?
not how it happened.
It's so how it happened.
It was difficult to recognize.
It was suspicious.
It was a suspicious potato. Tomato.
It was not like any tomato that I'd seen before.
It was a
Straight
cherry
off the-
tomato. You're such a fucking Viking.
It wasn't like a regular tomato.
I think there's a big.
I'm pretty sure it was
I
some
took some
genetically
pictures of it.
modified abomination.
I have a lot of pictures of us eating from that one.
Yeah, it was fun.
So look for our next mini installment of Meta and Christine are purchasing packages from
What
Amazon,
did Meta do
and the guys are going to do like the NFL.
commentary.
Commentary.
UFC, obviously.
No, but don't they do that thing where it's like
yeah,
I think
play
they
by
call-
play.
what
Yeah,
they
color
call it
commentary.
something?
Or bad lip.
Bad lip
reading.
reading. There you go. That's what it is.
Oh, bad
That would
lip
be
reading.
funny.
That'd be fun. Yeah, actually, well, fucking-
Christine,
there's a really
that's
funny
so
one
wonderful.
of the Harry Potter bad lip reading
I haven't seen
Harry
that
Potter
one.
thing. I watched the entire fucking Harry Potter, the first movie, the entire thing on YouTube. Bad lip reading. I just couldn't
That's
stop.
impressive.
Yeah.
I've only
How
They
do
were
you
like-
and Kyle have
they were
this
like
much time
10
to
minute-
watch and
oh,
listen
this
to
was
stuff?
years
I'm just
and
saying
years
in
ago.
general, like.
But it was 10-minute clips or so, and they were lip syncing, or somebody was doing all the voices, and I couldn't stop watching the fucking thing. It was so funny, and I watched the whole goddamn Harry Potter movie. I was like,
Hey,
and I don't even think I've ever watched the whole Harry Potter movie
Remember Mr.
without lip syncing.
Remember Mystery Science Theater?
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
kind of the same
It's
thing.
kind of the same thing. Yeah. All right, sounds good. Well, thank you, Ron, for the takeout song, and we will see you guys very soon.
Adios.
I got the blues so bad one time it put my face in a permanent frown. You know I'm feeling so much better I could cakewalk into town. I woke up this morning feeling so good, you know I laid back down again. Throw your big leg over me, mama, I just might not feel this good again. My baby, oh my baby, I love the way she walks. When my girl gets sleepy, I love the way she baby talks. My work done got scarce, honey, all my work, it done got hard. I spent the whole day stealing chickens, mama, from the rich folks' yard. I got the blues so bad one time it put my face in a permanent frown. Now I'm feeling so much better I could cakewalk into town. I wanna go on a picnic in the country, mama, and stay all day. I don't care if I don't do nothing, just while my time away. I got the blues so bad one time it put my face in a permanent frown. You know I'm feeling so much better I could cakewalk into town.